You see, it's a jar with dirt in it, all the way from Oak Park Products in Oak Park, Illinois. It's the jar of dirt. So first things first, let's dispense with the obvious. This is a dirt pedal in a jar. No lies detected there. You've got your knobs, jacks, and a switch right here on the top. The power gets connected to this little pigtail plug on the side, and there's even a little status LED. There are no labels, and the knobs are a little bit hard to read, and I keep forgetting if it goes like this or like this. But I suppose concessions must be made in order to fit everything up here. I reached out to the creator to ask if this is based on anything and if they have any tips for getting the most out of it, and they wrote back a whole bunch of helpful information. Basically, it's not based on anything, it's their own design. And in fact, there's something really interesting going on in here where it applies negative voltage to the op amp, which gives it some extra headroom before it gets into hard clipping. So that's pretty neat. One suggestion they gave was to trade off the volume and the gain to go between a clean boost, a low gain blues type overdrive, and flat out distortion. And that's what you heard in the opening. The rhythm guitar was low on gain but high on volume, and lead was high on gain with the volume backed off. Either way, this pedal, and it feels weird calling this a pedal, but this thing is intended to work in conjunction with your amp. It's going to be pushing and driving it and shaping the tone, so it's not meant to be an amp in a box or a jar. Here's the pedal all by itself going through a few different gain settings. So I didn't touch the knob in the middle there. That's the tone knob, and it's actually a low pass filter knob. So all the way up, you'll get all of the frequencies. And if you're a solo guitar player or a guitar player taking a solo, you probably want to leave this all the way up or backed off just the tiniest bit to tame some of those really high frequency nasties. And if you're after a muddier sound or you're trying to keep yourself out of a lead guitarist frequencies, that's where pulling it down even further might be a good idea. But just keep in mind, it's a filter, not a two-band EQ. Now, I both really enjoy and secretly dread talking about dirt pedals on here because, on one hand, dirt pedals tend to be single purpose with only a few variations, unlike digital choruses and delays, where there's all these different modes and options and switches to cover. On the other hand, trying to demo distortion is a lot like trying to describe paint colors over the phone. At some point, you just have to try it out. And with colors and pedals, there's just so much that affects the final product. And that's why I like showing these things off in this kind of faked band mix with the bass and the drums and the rhythm and the lead. That's why I use all the different guitars. It's not because I want to be all, hey guys, look how many guitars I have. It's because, especially when it comes to drive pedals, there's just this huge difference between what I get with the humbuckers in that Wolfgang compared with the vintage style low output pickups on the Strat, and something else entirely with the high output MFDs on my G&L. It just pushes the circuit a little bit differently, and I hope that's what you hear in this next little dentist blues tone bonanza. It's a fun dirt pedal that just happens to be housed in a 4-ounce glass mason jar. It doesn't take up too much room on a pedal board, where you're more than likely already going to have angled jacks going between your pedals. Angled jacks are recommended so that you can actually hit the button on the top. Plus, you know how some people like to use Altoid tins on their pedal board to keep their stuff? Why not just put it in here? Huh? If absolutely nothing else, it's a fun way to keep people confused. I told the guys that I play with that this is filled with a special type of tone gas that only comes from a special tone swamp in Nashville. Or just throw a few LEDs under it and make it part of your light show. Fun pedal, neat packaging, and it's nice to see something that's not just another ultra transparent or super doomy type pedal. It's somewhere right in the middle. And it might not be everyone's jar of tea, but aren't we lucky to have so many options? You can pick these up on Reverb. Just look for Oak Park Products, Jar of Dirt. And don't go anywhere yet. I got one more thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone for pushing this channel up past 1,000 subscribers. That means so much to me. I promise not to let it go to my head. I'm learning from you what works and what you don't want to see, and I promise to just keep doing the best that I can as long as you keep watching. I think we're onto something really special. I think our community is growing into a helpful resource, and I can honestly say it's making me a better guitar player as a result. So thanks for that too. Let me get out of here before I get too emotional, but get ready because I've got something wild planned, and maybe I'll catch you on the next one.